Hola, buenos dias. This is Kaipacha with the weekly Pele report. And yeah, I made it back home to Costa Rica. And I'm a little burned out, so I'm not even going to leave my backyard for a little while. So this is the Pele report for December 3rd of 2014 from my backyard. Oh my God. So, you know, the situation is now, right now, the moon is in Taurus. And on Friday, she goes into Gemini. And then, yeah, we got that full moon on Saturday at 14 degrees of Gemini. Sun at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, conjunct Mercury. We got the Sun and Mercury traveling together, you know, all week now. And they're actually conjunct exactly on Monday. And that is very much in trine to Uranus and square to Chiron. So when that full moon comes, it's a little bit of a T-square. Bit of an emotional time coming up this week, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Venus is going to be moving into Capricorn on next Wednesday. So we've still got Sun, Mercury, Venus over there in Sag. And there you can see the banana. I got that stick holding up the banana tree there. We're going to have a new set of bananas. I'm going to go over there and give you a good shot of those bananas. There's a little shot of Sagittarius. Mother Nature with the ripe, fresh banana. Yeah. So anyway, tomorrow, you know, Mars moves into Aquarius. And things are going to be lightening up. Things are going to be speeding up here. We're going to have, you know, quite a bit going on. As, you know, all of this, you know, is really happening now as Jupiter comes to a station. Yes, Jupiter stations and is going to start to go retrograde next Monday. So it's just hanging out there. He's hanging out there, 22 degrees. And the thing is now, let's look at, you know, we can look at this Jupiter cycle, because Jupiter was at 12 degrees of Leo in September 13th. Now it goes all the way up to 22 degrees, goes retrograde back to 12 degrees next April, and then we'll make it back to where it is right now next July. So this is you know, if you've got planets between 12 and 22 degrees of any of the fixed signs, or for that matter, any of the signs at all, yeah, between 12 and 22 degrees, they are going to be getting this Jupiter transit over the next 6 months. And so I want to talk a little bit more about that. We'll see how much time I have to talk about anything. So let's find a seat and get to it. One quick note before I get started on this. I want to give a great thank you. I've spent 2 months on the road, traveling and flying and meeting so many beautiful people all across Europe and into Egypt, and I just am in a very grateful space for the number of beautiful people out there. And I am looking forward, now that I'm back, of course, I'm planning my next trips. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the pyramids. Well, they're not exactly pyramids, okay, but in the Mayan country of the Yucatan. From February 1 to 11, I'm going to be gathering with a group of people. There's still some room left in that trip, and I would love it to meet more of you if you are able to make it out there. I'm going to be working with Miguel Angel, who really brings together the Mayan teachings with the Atlantean teachings, with the extraterrestrials, and with the whole great mystery wisdoms. This is the mysteries of the Jaguar. And my name, Kaipacha, is Inca. I was given this name by Mother Giambati during sacred ceremony. It means puma, which is the same as Jaguar, which is the keeper of, yes, and kind of the protector, the master of this world of the senses of what is here, and it's really a very powerful gatekeeper in a way. Yes, and so we're going to be looking at the mysteries of the Jaguar, the mysteries of Leo, of the lion, of the cat, of just all of that deep symbolism through the eyes of the Mayans, through the eyes of astrology, yeah, and of course Kundalini Yoga and other things and ceremony. So it'd be awesome to see you there, yeah? Then I'm going to be in, I'm doing Envision Festival, Music Festival. I'm going to be down here in Costa Rica. I'm doing the weekend following, doing another thing. So if you're into coming to Costa Rica, after that in March and April, I'm going to be out in Hawaii and California. So yeah, check out my website, and I'll put the, put some of these links in the notes below in YouTube if you are interested in, jumping in and really living fully into this amazing, intense time. I've got to say that Pluto went into 12 degrees, okay, of Capricorn, November 26th, and Uranus retrograded into 12 degrees of Aries, yes, before that, and Pluto stays in 12. It doesn't go into 13 degrees until the day after Christmas. So what we can say is for one solid month, we have Pluto exactly square Uranus to the same degree. And it's building, 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 building. This is an intense time. And the moon's nodes are coming in closer. And Pluto is squaring these nodes. I've talked about it. It's coming up, to be exact in January. But it's good now. These computers get us into a space where, it's not exact until it's exact. But I'll tell you what, life doesn't work that way. Life is its own computer. And these things take time. And especially now we're coming into this full moon. This is a really big time. And this Pluto square the nodes and Uranus, conjunct the south node of the moon. What does all this mean? I've been saying it over and over again, but it's intensifying now. And it is revolution. It is rebellion. It is creating a new paradigm. It is moving into the future. And that future has a cost. That future's cost is letting go of the past. Limiting core beliefs, relationships, jobs, security, the known and familiar pathways and identities that we've had and what we have identified ourselves as or identified ourselves with. If it's been limiting our evolutionary growth, bam, it's got to go. So this is a time of the snake shedding its skin, the phoenix rising from the ashes. I've talked about that. Yeah, with Pluto on the edge of Scorpio, Sag. Now we've got this Sun, Mercury, Venus in Sagittarius. And Mars moving into Aquarius. Oh my God. It's a lot of astrological jargon, but it has a lot to do with the future. Aquarius is finding the future purpose. So Mars is going into Aquarius, and it's going to be there for over a month. But right now, okay, for a couple more weeks, we got this Sun, Mercury moving through Sag, and Sag is also about expansion and the vision quest. And this vision quest requires leaving. And it's just like, I know, man. Now I've got it down. Like I pack everything I need in a suitcase. It takes me a half hour. And I'm out there, ready for the airport, man. It's just like, what? When you come into this future or this vision quest or this leaving the known and familiar, you can only take so much with you. It's just like going on vacation. Jupiter is airports and foreign lands and foreign travels. Jupiter is trine Sagittarius. Jupiter is stationing right now. It's like intensifying, about to go retrograde because the Earth is coming closer to Jupiter right now. As Jupiter goes retrograde, it's because we are passing Jupiter by. So this is a very powerful time of expansion, and I'm saying this powerful time of expansion and going into the unknown and going into the future requires faith, hope, trust in something more, something bigger, some greater. I call it divine intelligence. Divine intelligence, far beyond our ego intelligence, far beyond our left brain, logical, rational ability to explain. No faith, no hope, no trust, and you get scared, and you don't travel, and you don't go, and you don't fly, and you're afraid of trains, and you're afraid of boats, and you can get into catatonic states with too much fear. So we need to be letting go at this time. This Pluto-Uranus, Pluto square the nodes is telling us it's time to let go of our old skins. And it's uncomfortable, and it's very scary, and it requires a lot of faith. That's what Jupiter is, that's what Sagittarius is, that's what this time is right now. And it just really brings me into a couple of different ideas. Yeah, and a couple of these different ideas has to do with, number one, letting go is oftentimes painful. And when we look at pain, when I look at pain, and I've dealt with pain, I have worked with and kind of explored the mystery of pain. And what I see is that pain comes when there is a buildup of energy. When we are overly focused on something, or overly attached to something, or afraid to let go of something. It's like we dam the river and the pressure builds up, and the pressure becomes more painful. And you can look at the chakra that this pain is in, and emotional, spiritual, physical, however you want to look at it. It's when we build up to things and we hold on to things and basically resist evolution. This is Pluto. Pluto is the force of evolution, and that force of evolution will remove or cause tremendous... Pluto is also Cancer. Yes? Pluto is also death. Pluto is also... It is the great Shiva force of destruction that takes away our training wheels, it takes away our crutches, it takes away what we no longer need. Whether we are emotionally attached to it, whether we are, mentally in a space where we feel or believe that we need it. And this is where now, this is the time. It's so beautiful for me. My understanding of faith is that you always have what you need. And if something goes away, it's because you don't need it, and you may not understand it, and it may hurt at the time, and it may take time for those emotional cords that are cut or broken to heal. Time heals these wounds. But there has to be this faith that there is an unconscious force. 90% of your brain. I just saw, what was it, Lucy? Have you seen Lucy? You check out Lucy, man. And I've talked about it before in Pele reports. We use less than 10% of the mass of our brain. Yeah. Well, Lucy, in the movie, she uses 100% of her brain. And by the end of it, she's like a goddess. But in the meantime, let's face it, we don't understand why. That's why we do the vision quest. That's why we do exploratory, medicine or other forms of mind expansion, is because we can't grok. Why? Life is bigger than us. Life is a mystery. The forces of the angels or the gnomes or Gaia or the extraterrestrials, they're just beyond our comprehension. And so one thing I learned from one of my great yoga teachers, Hari Javan, is, he taught me that, his favorite mantra, which became my favorite mantra, is whatever. It's like, whatever. Whatever. The idea here is that when we say whatever, and when we move into a state of surrender to life, life is intelligent. Life is God to me. Life brings me what I need. Life is my teacher. Life takes away what I don't need. Life disciplines me. Life supports me or heals me. Life is wise. Life is infinite wisdom. Natural law. You know, there are laws, and this is where Sagittarius has to do with nature and natural laws. Nature is our great teacher. Life through nature teaches us. You know, spring always is followed by summer. That is just going to happen. There are things that we can count on. And I just want to encourage you, during this week, during this full moon, watch the moon rise on Saturday night. Yeah? Watch the sun set. When's the last time you watched a sun rise? I have to encourage you, through this time, Mother Nature is the source of nourishment, the source of security, the source of something that we can believe in, something that is predictable and solid and dependable. What goes up must come down. Sunset is always followed by a sunrise. Sunrise is always followed by a sunset. Yeah? Spring is always followed by summer. There are things that we can count on that are not going to go away. And this is the square, the T-square with the full moon and Sun Mercury squaring this Chiron at 13 degrees of Pisces is healing our separation from the divine spirit. And Chiron is in Pisces from 2011 to 2018. This is a big healing time. We're right in the middle. She's, you know, just about in the middle of Pisces, 13 degrees. There's 15 degrees is the dead center. And this is, we are in the middle of our healing time of our separation from spirit. And that is just believing in the magic. And this empowers us to move on and to let go. And that pain, what is pain? Like I said, this is this gathering of energy. I look back, I followed, read a book and saw a lecture by Jack Schwartz on pain. He was one of these guys, he stuck needles through his arm and it didn't bother him and stuff like that. And so I had surgery with no anesthetics. And as that knife cut through my skin, it was painful, and I saw the pain, I felt the pain as all my energy, all my focus, all the blood, all the, everything went to the point where the scalpel was cutting the skin. And I got in there with my consciousness and blew it up, spread it apart, moved the energy as fast as I possibly could. So as that knife cut through, I just, rather than let it gather and let it build and let it overwhelm me, it's like, just keep it moving. And this is what this Uranus, in Aries in the South Node, Mars moving into Aquarius, all this stuff in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Leo, this is a time to move it. Move that energy. Don't be dragged along behind the car or behind the wagon. I think of the old westerns, where they tied a rope around the guy's feet and dragged him behind the horse, Don't be dragged behind the horse, man. Get out in front of that horse. It's like, it's initiate. It's like be the force. Be the ray of light. Be the spiritual energy. Be the force of change. Be the creative one. And it's like, so resistance to the evolutionary force is the main, source of trauma, stress, pain, and suffering. And evolution, life and nature teaches us what goes up must come down. Yes? What is full gets emptied. What is emptied gets gets filled. We are on a constant wheel. There's no goal. There's no finish line. So just keep on moving. And know that life is behind you. Life is supporting you. Everything that comes to you, and everything that goes away from you, this is all supporting your expansion of consciousness. Yeah, baby. I know it's crazy, man. But this is the other thing. Like I said, life is such a mystery. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It doesn't really matter. Shit happens. And we, through our belief systems, interpret it to mean something. We give meaning to our experience. We create our own meanings for life. Oh, the guys were working on the yard here. I didn't have time, for the Pele report. Oh, that means, maybe I'm not supposed to do the Pele report, or maybe I'm supposed to be more. Maybe I'm supposed to. I mean, it's just like there's all kinds of things. I'm trying to build a house. I got turned down at the bank for my loan, even though I make enough or whatever, So I can take that to mean I'm not supposed to build a house, or da 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 da. The mind goes into all kinds of, interpretations of our reality. And all I can say is, and this is what Hari Jawan told me, my yoga teacher, pick the one that feels the best. Pick the one that feels the best. Shit happens, life happens, everything happens. We don't understand why. We will not know why in so many instances. Why is it that I love somebody deeply and she loves me very deeply, but you know what? We can't be together. There's no explanation. So give it the most positive explanation that feels good to you. And some people may say, oh, that's overly optimistic, that's non-realistic, that's crazy, that's self-delusion. And all I can say is bullshit. We're all interpreting our lives and our realities and the events of our lives in our own unique ways, and all I can say is that the positive is the most healthy for your physical body. Because when you feel good, you are under less stress, and your body feels better, and you don't get sick as much, and you don't get ulcers, and you don't get headaches, and you don't get exhausted, and you live longer, and you don't get ill, and blah, 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 blah. So it may be unrealistic, and it may, be not, I don't know, not logical. But I'm telling you, right? This is part of, we're stepping into this power of in Aquarius of being co-creators, and we want to start exercising our creative capacity. And part of that creative capacity comes through this Sagittarius with this full moon in Gemini, that I am going to create, yes, the most positive reality for myself to exist within, through believing and interpreting life in the most positive way. Wow. I don't know if you get that or not. I hope I found the right words. That brings me to the mantra, I see a bright future for myself and mankind. No, for myself and all mankind. The cost is small compared to all we shall receive in time. I mean, it came to me about, in the middle of the night last night. And I've been so stressed out all morning I forgot it, but here it is. Yeah. I see a bright future for myself and all mankind. The cost is small compared to all we shall receive in time. Now, of course that can be argued. Somebody can say, "Well, what do you mean? This person died, and this person is in the hospital, and this tragedy is, and the economy is going down. Blah, 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 what are you talking about? The cost is small. The cost is not small." But I say, this is where it is a matter of perspective. And you can focus on and create the vibration of gratitude in your heart and appreciation and love for all that is. And the way you do that is what? You go out in nature and you watch sunrises and you watch moon rises and you swim down rivers and you get out in the beauty of this awesome planet. And witness and experience and feel the magnificence of creation. And then you'll see a lot of, the temporary man-made issues, yes, that get, people become obsessed about, are actually quite small. Even a life, if you're into reincarnation, and you have hundreds of lives, one life could be small compared to what we shall receive in time. In time. I didn't put a limit on that time. It's a long time. We've got a lot of time here. The cost is small compared to all we shall receive in time. So, yeah. Whatever. Time to go. One more time. I see a bright future. And just say it to yourself. Maybe if we all said that. I mean, if we all say this, if we all see a bright future, you know what? We will create a bright future. God damn it. I see a bright future for myself and all mankind. The cost is small compared to all we shall receive in time. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.